When you hear the word prepper, what comes to mind? Maybe you picture someone buried in a bunker, hoarding canned food and wearing a gas mask, waiting for the sky to fall. Pop culture has done a great job of turning preppers into punchlines, eccentric survivalists preparing for alien invasions or zombie outbreaks. But that image? It's outdated. And honestly, it's getting in the way of a much more important conversation. Because prepping isn't about tinfoil hats or doomsday fantasies, it's about being practical. It's about being ready for real-world disruptions. And in 2025, that mindset has never been more relevant. Prepping is about resilience. It's about independence. It's about being able to weather storms, literal and metaphorical, without falling apart. And it's not just for hardcore survivalists anymore. Prepping is for everyone, including you. We're living in an increasingly unpredictable world. Systems we once relied on, whether that's the power grid, grocery store shelves, the healthcare system, or even our digital infrastructure, are all showing signs of strain. From natural disasters to global pandemics to cyberattacks and supply chain issues, the vulnerabilities are becoming impossible to ignore. So let's shift the lens. Let's talk about prepping not as paranoia, but as personal empowerment. Because this isn't about hiding from the world, it's about being prepared to engage with it, no matter what comes your way. Let's start with the benefits of adopting a prepper mindset. And trust me, they go way beyond emergency scenarios. Self-sufficiency is one of the biggest. Think about it. How many of us actually know how to grow food, or filter drinking water, or treat a basic wound without Google or a trip to the pharmacy? When you begin prepping, you start reclaiming skills that people have relied on for generations, skills that we've slowly lost to convenience. Learning how to be self-reliant in even small ways can be a game changer. Let's say you know how to fix a flat tire, cook from scratch, or grow your own tomatoes. Those aren't just survival skills, they're life skills. And the more of them you master, the less dependent you become on systems that may not always be there when you need them. Then there's the financial angle. Prepping can actually save you money. Think about the panic buying that happens during every major storm warning or supply shortage. Prices skyrocket, stores sell out, and people spend more than they can afford on items they could be bought weeks ago for half the cost. But if you've been gradually building up your supplies over time, on your own schedule, within your budget, you avoid that chaos entirely. You buy smart, you save money, you stay ahead. Peace of mind is another massive upside. When you've got plans in place, supplies on hand, and the skills to handle unexpected situations, you don't live in fear. You don't panic when something goes wrong. You stay calm because you've already prepared. That's an underrated but powerful feeling. Now here's something people often overlook: community. Prepping isn't about going it alone. In fact, some of the strongest prepping strategies are built on local connections. When neighbors share resources, trade skills, and communicate effectively, they form mini resilient communities that can support each other when larger systems falter. Whether it's trading homegrown food, helping repair storm damage, or just watching each other's backs, community makes a huge difference. And let's not forget adaptability. A prepared person isn't rigid. They're flexible. They can pivot. When jobs are lost, when cities flood, when prices rise, they're not frozen in place. They've thought ahead. They've built options into their lives. They know how to shift gears and keep moving forward. So what kinds of events are actually worth prepping for? Let's be honest. The zombie apocalypse isn't coming. But real threats? They're already here, and they're not flashy. They're slow burns, quiet failures, systems that crumble under pressure. Let's talk about a few. Economic instability is a big one. We've already seen how fragile markets can be. Inflation, job loss, rising costs of living, and debt crises. They can hit hard and fast. Being prepared here means having a budget, a side hustle, an emergency fund, and enough supplies at home to avoid spending during price spikes or job gaps. Natural disasters are increasing in both frequency and severity. Hurricanes, wildfires, earthquakes, floods, these aren't abstract threats. For millions of people, they're annual events. And when disaster hits, even temporarily, you might lose access to power, clean water, and basic necessities. Prepping means having a go bag, an evacuation plan, and a supply of essentials ready at a moment's notice. Power grid failures are another real possibility. Blackouts can be caused by storms, cyberattacks, or simple infrastructure failure. And when the grid goes down, so does almost everything else. Heating, cooling, banking, communication, even food storage. Having alternative light sources, solar chargers, and non-electric cooking options can turn a crisis into an inconvenience. Supply chain issues, we've all lived through that. The empty shelves, the shipping delays, the rising prices. A fragile global system means local shortages happen fast. But when you've got essentials on hand, food, toiletries, medical supplies, you're not scrambling, you're steady. And let's not ignore political unrest or public health emergencies. These might not be as visible as a hurricane, but they're just as disruptive. During COVID-19, we saw how easily hospitals can become overwhelmed, how fast shelves can clear, and how mental health can suffer from extended isolation. Prepping for these situations means more than masks and hand sanitizer. It is about building a life with margin, with options, with resilience. Even cyber attacks are becoming more relevant. Imagine waking up to find your bank's systems down, your phone network offline, your smart devices suddenly useless. When digital systems crash, analog solutions shine. Prepping here means having printed documents, backup data, cash on hand, and old-school ways to stay in touch. Now, if you're still thinking, that sounds overwhelming, don't worry. Prepping doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't mean buying a cabin in the woods or living off-grid. It starts small, and it builds. So, how do you begin? Start by assessing your risks. What's most likely to affect you? Are you in a flood zone? A city prone to blackouts? Is your income unstable? Pinpoint your vulnerabilities. That's where you focus first. Then, make a plan. Write it down. Where will you go in an emergency? Who do you need to contact? What happens if cell service fails? What if you're stuck at home for 2 weeks? Think it through now while everything's calm. Build your emergency kit. You don't need to buy it all at once. Start with the basics: water, non-perishable food, a flashlight, batteries, first aid, and a radio. Add to it slowly. Prioritize items that fit your lifestyle and invest in learning skills. Take a CPR class. Learn how to grow herbs in your kitchen. Watch a video on how to start a fire or purify water. You'd be surprised how easy it is to learn and how useful it can become. Stay informed, not paranoid, just aware. Track local weather. Follow economic news. Know what's happening in your region. That awareness helps you react quickly and stay one step ahead. Here's the bottom line. Prepping isn't about fear. It's about freedom. It's about putting yourself in the best position to face the unexpected, not with panic, but with confidence, not with chaos, but with calm. And the best part? It's empowering. You're not waiting for someone else to save you. You're taking responsibility for your future. One can of beans, one emergency plan, one useful skill at a time. So the next time someone jokes about preppers, smile and keep stacking your wins. Because when the storm hits, when the lights go out, when the system stalls, you'll be ready. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. It really helps more people find this kind of practical info. And if you're into building resilience, learning real-world skills, and taking control of your future, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay sharp, and above all, stay ready.